Day 10 is in the books, and if my calculations are correct, we are on to day 11 of Bourbisane's Blind Whiskey Advent Calendar. If you guys are just joining the series, welcome. I've had such a fun time these last 10 days, and I can't believe we're like almost halfway done with the series already. Every day for 24 days, starting on December 1st. If you haven't seen any of those, go back and watch them now. I am trying a blind sample, and I have no idea what it is. You guys will know what it is, but I don't. And at the end of all this, I'm going to be giving one of my favorite bottles away. So you can enter this giveaway. All you got to do is like every video, subscribe to the channel, and at the end of every video I put in a question of the day. And I want you to answer that question today in the comments, and you're going to get an extra entry into that giveaway. So, super excited for this series, guys. I mean, since before, like all year when I came back into WhiskeyTube, I've been wanting to do this. Wanting to get back into Christmas time and make this type of video. And I specifically wanted to do blind because I've really been trying to train my palate and get better about tasting notes, nosing notes, all that stuff, and see if I can actually pick out age, proof, distillery, which is going to be the challenge in this whole series. And I'll tell you, it's been a challenge already in this whole series. So, but let me just say thank you all so much for all your support through the series. The comments keep me going, the likes, all the subs that I'm gaining during this series. It's been amazing. You guys are incredible, and I appreciate the support so much. You really don't know what it means to me. So, also I want to apologize because during these blind weeks, if you've been watching those videos, you know I say this, but I'm very hyper, very all over the place, not like my normal reviews typically. So, sorry. You know, I'm very ADHD. I can't help that, and this gets me excited. I love doing this stuff. I love doing blind reviews, and I love being with all you during it. So, let's go into day 11, shall we? I got about halfway through filming this review and realized I wasn't recording, so that was great. I hadn't got to the reveal yet, so I still don't know what it is, but at least I found out before I got to the reveal. I was able to pour another sample. So, nice color, very inviting in the glass, beautiful, beautiful looking. Dark caramel color, I would say. Viscosity's kind of meh, not too great, but definitely not too bad either, so let's go into the nose, guys. Happy day 11. Ooh. Nice rich caramel on this one. It's almost like that whipped caramel. Meaning this might even have a little more age to it. I'm getting no alcohol burn. Nice roasted nut note. Roasted pecans. Butter pecan. Now I say that, it kind of gives me kind of like a butter pecan ice cream vibe, you know? That vanilla butter pecan. Nice nose. A lot of baking spices in here too, along with that oak. Definitely not an astringent oak, it leans more towards the kind of those sweet oak notes. Which once again, sweet oak, I mentioned this in one of my other reviews, but I kind of in my brain have a cutoff of how I determine age, so if I get almost any astringency, almost anything, depending on proof and all that, of course, but if I get almost any astringency, I can probably know it's 6 years or younger. When I get 0 astringency, almost always it's 8 years plus. Unless they've done some kind of crazy finishing to it, or double oaking, triple oaking it, that kind of stuff. But that's kind of how in my brain I try to determine age. Proof is definitely not kicking me in the face, but it's giving me enough that I'm getting a lot out of the Glen, you know? Alright, let's go into palate here, guys. Cheers! Boy, the front of that palate was super sweet. Like hyper sweet, hyper rich. As it hit the middle of the palate, though, mid to back palate was kind of weak and fell off. Wasn't getting a lot of like mid palate and finish. Not much rye spice either on this. Definitely seems to be a bourbon. That's another thing too. Speaking of my ADHD mind, rye can sometimes trick me as far as proof. Like sometimes I think it's proof and it's actually just high rye. Or youth, you know, youthful or age. You know, rye is very hard to tell age sometimes. Bourbon I just have more experience with, so. Front mid palate. I don't want to swallow because I don't want to wash it back. Yeah. Front mid palate, like you just want to take this whiskey and hold it in your mouth, so you get all that front, those sweet, savory notes on the front of the palate. But then when it hits the mid palate and the back of the palate, it's just thin. It's thin and kind of washes over and becomes a forgettable whiskey, which is unfortunate because the flavor in here is very solid. Like if you ask me what a classic bourbon is, I mean, this is it. This is a classic bourbon. Show your friends a classic bourbon, this is it. Hold the lime. Hold the lime. Yeah. This is one of those whiskeys you just want to swish in your mouth and keep it there, or swish and spit, like a spittoon, because it's so good. Like, it is so good. Everything you want in a bourbon on that. Those almond notes, cinnamon notes, almost like a cinnamon roasted almond coming through for me now. So many baking spices, clove, allspice, everything you would describe in a good bourbon, and the oak influence is still coming through. So it's great. I just wish this was maybe upped in proof 10 points. Even that would help so much as far as the mouthfeel and finish. It's still a damn good whiskey. That really is. I would have no problem drinking that all day, every day. Very, very good whiskey. Let's try to think about specs on this now. Boy, oh boy. Age. As I mentioned, I didn't get any of that astringency at all. So I think it's at least 6 years. It doesn't give me a huge whipped note that I described in the beginning, that first sip, initial sip. It was quite a large whipped note. But as I got into, third, fourth sip, that wasn't very much of a whipped oak, a sweet oak, or a sweet, creamy vanilla anymore, So I don't think it's 10 years plus, was my long way of saying that. Sorry. I'm going to say 8 years. Kind of in between. Like I said, I don't think it's 6, but a little more depth than that, but I don't think it's 10 year plus. Proof, I got, like I said, I got almost no rye spice on this, so that can mess with your thoughts on proof. I'm gonna say 100. I think it's 100 proof. 100 proof. And Distillery, man. I forgot what I had to do next. Distillery. I think this is Knob Creek 9. So I'm gonna say Knob Creek or Jim Beam as my Distillery. It's giving me that kind of chocolatey nuttiness, that I described on there. And still that layer of creamy oak. I'm not going to change my age to 9 years, though, because I'm hedging my bets a little bit, All right, good stuff, though. This is good stuff, whatever this is. And if that's Knob Creek, that's a very affordable budget bottle at that price. All right, let's go into it here. Auto results. Oh, okay. Heaven Hill, bottled in bond, 7 year. So let's grab this bottle. We'll talk about it. All right, we're back. Here's the Heaven Hill, bottled in bond, 7 year. Let's not forget, this used to be 6 year label, $19, $18. One of the best values in bourbon, and one of my favorites. Right there. I got one bottle left, and I refuse to drink it because I'm never going to be able to get it again. That 6 year had more nuttiness, though, than this. This doesn't have as much nuttiness. I think that 1 year of age actually did kind of round off the rough edges in the 6 year. I don't like that this jumped to $45 versus, 19, 20, whatever I mentioned with the other one. So, was I happy about the label change? No, none of us were at all. And that's unfortunate that they did that and discontinued that, but they wanted an excuse to raise the price, so they added 1 year of age and they doubled the price. So, unfortunate for the consumer, but I'll tell you what, when they did change over labels, I thought this was actually a really good bottle still. At the time, I didn't want to pay $45 for it. Nowadays, I would pay $45 for this again. So, I think it's worth the $45 still. It hasn't gone up since they put it out price-wise, which is good. As mentioned, though, if you want to save yourself $5 to $10, get yourself the Knob Creek 9. I mean, that's a great option, great alternative. It's got that same similar profile with that nuttiness and whipped caramel, whipped vanilla, and some sweet oak. You know, some sweet oak, but can't complain. Good stuff, and I've always been a fan of this Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond. I just wish it was a little bit cheaper like it used to be. All right, well, I had a lot of fun today, guys. Didn't do too bad, but didn't do too good on that one either. So let's move on to the question of the day, though. Today, our question: what is your favorite holiday dessert? So a couple videos ago, we asked about the favorite holiday dish, food-wise. So what is your favorite dessert you eat at the holidays? Me, personally, I'm not a big dessert guy in general, but I will say I like a good cheesecake. I do like a good cheesecake, and I'm usually more of a strawberry versus cherry cheesecake guy. So that'd be my choice, but I want to hear from you guys. If you haven't yet, do me a favor, check out my Patreon page, bourbinsane.com. A lot of early access videos, behind the scenes exclusives. You can get merch over there. We do giveaways like what we're doing on the channel now also. So if you're interested in supporting the channel and having a good time, check out my Patreon page. I'd really appreciate it. Either way, though, I appreciate all the support. You guys have been amazing through this series. Keep it coming, baby. The videos are going to keep coming, and you guys keep coming, too. If you got this whiskey, drink along with me. I'll see you tomorrow for day 12. Stay insane, everyone.